HTML Kickstart is a nice, small, lean library to create your responsive pages. Really nice. This guy Joshua has got some really good stuff, and that's how easy it is. Include this. If you want buttons, he has given examples, and then there are different examples of the codes with colors, with styles. You can see the HTML code is there. It is picking up the style because when you add the Kickstart CSS and you add the Kickstart JavaScript, it's going to pick up everything. Okay, so it is saying you download Kickstart, add this. So let me demonstrate this anyway. So I'm going to download this just so that you get an idea of how to use a responsive framework. It's very lightweight. It should come up pretty soon. In the meantime, I'm going to make did it come? Yep, it is. No, the net is pretty slow here. I'll see if I have a copy of it previously. Yeah, I've got Kickstart from before. So I'm making a new folder for responsive web. Under responsive web, for today's demo, I'll make a few folders. So this is Kickstart. When you download Kickstart, you get a CSS file and you get a JavaScript file. You download it, you get this, okay? And I've just put, it already comes with the JS in the JS file, CSS in the CSS file. It comes. There might be one more CSS that I'm missing. When you download Kickstart, it usually comes with one extra CSS file in the root folder. It's called style.css. I put it inside the CSS folder just to be more organized. Okay, so I've got my folder, web 1, responsive web, Kickstart. Let's come to Dreamweaver. As usual, I'll define a new site. What this does is it allows me to make sure that everything is in one folder. I've given it a name and I select a folder. In this folder, all I have is what I have downloaded. And let's go and see. Once you download it, he asks you to paste this code. Okay, he asks you to paste this code in. It comes with an empty page. It does come with an empty page, and I should use that empty page as well. Let me find the empty page. It comes with a page known as blank. I think I have downloaded it before, so it should be somewhere. I'll put the license agreement, the README files, and I'll take this blank file with me. I'll use the blank file and I'll construct it again. Just so that I just want to make sure I do have the links, and I'll upload this as a template for you to use. I'm going to clear up the body. I'm just going to clean up the body, nothing in the body. This is the most important thing. When you download the template, you get an index file with a link to kickstart.css, with a link to style.css, with a link to jQuery, and with a link to JavaScript, the kickstart.js. Okay? And whatever you link, you see it comes up here. Now you have linked only 4 files, but why are there so many? That is because in the JavaScript or inside the CSS, there may be things using these other files, like Font Awesome is being used in the CSS. Okay? Style.css is usually empty. Style.css is used for you to customize, to add your own style. Now see what happens here is, in the code, style.css comes on top of Kickstart or after Kickstart. So if you want to override anything, if you want to override any style, you will put it in style.css. So if I just, don't worry about all of this, this is the basic structure of Kickstart. If I preview this, it's empty. In fact, I just got an error there, nothing there. I have this error here. So let's start putting things in. I'm referring to Kickstart. It has got examples for buttons, menus. Let's say I want a menu on my page. I want a horizontal menu. Okay. His menus are not responsible, so I'll probably choose a vertical menu. So here he has given a sample code. If I go in here, put this in my body, the links are not there. You can see Ahref, the links are not there, but you know HTML code, so you can change this. Okay. This is just a sample code with lists and sublist. The sublist is a sub menu. So you can see this.
No, it's because I didn't originally key it. It's because I didn't originally key that to the frame.
The sub item did not work. It has got sub item and sub item. Let me try the horizontal menu. The horizontal menu has a list. The UL starts here, UL ends here. Let me preview this and see what it looks like. So now here the submenus are working. See that? The submenus are working. Now to modify this, you got to understand, you got to dig into this code. Menu starts here, menu ends here. You see this list, it's got a sub list here. If I don't want a sub menu, all I have to do is I just have to kill this. And I don't have a sub menu anymore. Okay? I can change that to home. I can change this to about. I can change this to contact. And there are icons here. These icons use the Font Awesome icon set. If I remove this, the icon disappears. And if I just go back here, FA space FA hyphen, you can see I've got this entire list of, I've got an ambulance, an anchor, an Android icon, angle down, angle up, archive, got all sorts of icons there which I can use. I think there's even a YouTube icon somewhere, FA YouTube, there's a Facebook icon somewhere. So really good collection. So the font are awesome, and I think it will be there inside the CSS or maybe inside the JavaScript. So you can see the font awesome is actually linked here. I'm not quite sure where it is linked from. It's usually just linked from the body. So I'm just going to remove the font awesome icon there, and the icons that I showed you on my page, they're all the same thing, same deal, font awesome. So what I showed you earlier, these icons here, all font awesome. Okay, I'll show you where I picked them up from also. So Kickstart gives you everything. You want a slider, you go down, pick a slider. You want a list, you go down, pick a list. You see an example and you apply it. Okay, and you slowly build your page. Bootstrap is the most popular one, the most used for responsive sites, and you can see that. You can see the menu collapses at a particular point. That's because the CSS file has got media queries, at media queries. It is constantly querying the device as to what width it is running at. So millions of devices at different widths, when they run, the CSS says, okay, you're running at this width, I'm going to show you this. And let me show you. If I go to Kickstart CSS, for example, and if I search for at media query, is it here? He's got it in the JS. Let me show you in the W3 CSS. In all of these responsive frameworks, so if I open up this CSS file here, you can see you have a CSS in your page, and then at one point the CSS file has this line, at media, only screen and minimum width 601, which means it starts changing the style of these classes for this width. And similarly, for a different width, it says my classes should be different. What does this do? If I take you to W3 CSS, and I take you to grid, you see the grid is really the key in making things responsible and collapsible. I'm going to go down here and try to pull out one example. So I have this example here. I'll show you the code too. You see, there is a row. This is a div tag. It says I am a row. It ends here. Inside the row, it says that I have got 3 columns. So the first div tag is a column, second div tag is a column, third div tag is a column. And each of these columns, it says, is going to be 4 units wide. Now 4 plus 4 plus 4, look at this, 4 threes are 4 threes are 4 plus 4 plus 4, 12, and 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. Basically, the number of columns should total up to 12. It should total up to 12. Reason being, it's easier for it to collapse. See this, okay? Look at this at the bottom. I'll try to maximize this. Look at the example at the bottom. The first row is one row of 12 columns. The second row is one row of 2 columns. So you have 6 and 6 totaling 12. Who is lost here? Because I get the feeling that none of you are paying attention. Is this making sense to anybody? This is your next assignment. Okay, so you see here you have got 2 columns of 6 and 6, then you have 3 columns of 4 and 4, again totaling 12. So M4 is a class, it's a predefined class, and what happens is, see, when I press this or shrink this in size, it collapses. Okay, the styles are defined in such a way that if the width changes, their floating and positioning changes. That's what responsive is all about. So what I did was, when I was making the layout, I went, okay, I need 2 columns here, or I need 3 columns here which will collapse. So you choose how many columns you need, and there are examples here straight away. So you want to start with 3 columns, you can start with 3. You want to start with 4 columns, you can start with 4. And you know the deal if you want 2 columns anyway. So if you come here and let me just make a new file. I'm just going to make a new HTML file. I'm going to call this W3 CSS. I'm going to save it as, I won't use Kickstart, I'll use a different folder. So I've created a new w3.css. In the body I've just put a row with 3 columns, okay, and I will play with it. I can even give these things colors. I need to add a CSS to it, so let me download my CSS file, which I have somewhere here. I'm just going to take this CSS file. So I put the CSS file inside the CSS folder. Okay, so I've got a w3.css. This is the one that does all the magic. Okay, this is the guy that does all the magic. You can see all of the styles, colors, everything are here, and I will look up the reference to use it. When I have a CSS file, I must link it. Link href. So bear in mind, I have not created this file. I'm just linking it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you don't change anything in the file, you just change the name. That's the thing which I thought that you might have problems because.
So suppose I want to give this guy a color. I come space, and I think w3 hyphen. You can see I've got amber. Amber is a golden color. How do I know this? I know this because I went here and I went to w3 colors. See? These are the classes. So if I go w3 blue or w3 blue gray, for example, if I go here, I add one more class, w3 hyphen blue gray, and maybe red, w3 hyphen red. So if I check this out, and you can see how collapsible it is. Okay. So I'm using a framework. I did not write one line of CSS. I think W3 CSS is the easiest, it's the best. I've tried Bootstrap, I've tried Skeleton. I think this is beautiful, lightweight. Now, suppose I want 2 columns. I change this to 6 and 6. Okay, I get 2 columns. The total must be 12. You get the trick? So I should have a row and I should have columns. If I copy this and I say 3, 3, and maybe I need 2 more 3s to make up 12. Yes, whole number. Getting the grid is tough enough. Okay, so that's my second row. The second row I will change the colors. I will change the color to W3 hyphen red hyphen blue red. So yeah, what I did was I kept referring to W3 CSS. I went to navigation. Okay, now under navigation I kept trying. It's got some beautiful examples. So I first tried this one. Okay, and then I applied a JavaScript. It already comes with some kind of a JavaScript here. See this? Make sure you copy the script as well. When you apply these things for navigation, make sure you copy the script as well. In this script, I added animate.css as well. I just got fade in, fade out, slide in, slide out, and it can be done. But that's not part of the assignment. The assignment mainly is to have a mobile friendly menu and responsive content. So once you finish your site, the assignment to proceed on is to make it responsive. Or you can take the content and make a new one which is responsive. I'm going to stop this recording now. But yeah, you get an idea of what a responsive